How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Is It a Buy, where we talk about stocks and try to determine if they are with the buy or maybe a pass. My name is Corey. I'd just like to preface the video by saying I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who likes to talk about stocks, so please take what I say with a grain of salt, all right? Hello, everybody. Diamond first. Oh, welcome, my friend. Hope your dad's doing okay, man, and hope you had a safe flight. Lee, what's up? Dog was not first, but good try. Yeah, Red Tuesday for sure. D&D Apes winning big time. David, welcome. Got one more share today at the best price since May. Hey, I like that thought process, the way to think about it. And welcome. Oh, Miss Rodriguez, hello. Welcome. Dang, Diamond Backhand bought 20 on the dip and buying 100 more if it hits $35. I know. Here's the deal. A lot of people wanting to average down or average up or add to the position, whatever you're trying to do. Here's the deal. If you believe in the stock, then you may want to consider adding to your position if it's something you want to do. Whatever you want to do is fine, but I would hate for someone to miss out on this opportunity to average down or even average up, buy at a better price whenever the stock is is on a bit of a dip. But I do feel like there is I feel like there will be an end, right? Where the stock isn't going to, I personally don't think the stock is going to dip forever. I think it's having a small little dip currently, but look at the market. Like, I was a little, confused as to what was happening. But look, the whole market is red today. Don't mind the bottom numbers that are the after hours, but like most of the market was extremely red all day, right? And it's just the way the nature of the beast, right? It's not always going to be green days. It's not going to be a straight shot up. It's going to be a rocky ride. But if you have a good enough average, and you continue to add to your average, you have a good position. Whenever the stock does run on these kinds of dips, you're not feeling as bad, right? I'm not feeling as bad. Yeah, I like the stock when it was better at $60, like kind of steady. But even then, having a good average has made it very, very easy to dime in hand and keep on holding. And that's my spiel. Starfish, hoping for new investors. All my spare cash is held in AMC, holding 405. Very nice. Yeah, I'm hoping for new investors as well. I think there's going to be, we just have to wait for the right catalyst for it to happen in order for more investors to hop in. And maybe the price dipping a little bit is going to allow people to say, you know what, if this is going to continue to run, I'd rather just get a few shares and hold it and see what happens, rather than buying in at $60. Now they'll get in at $40 or whatever they'll get in at. Under 40, and I'm sure they'll be happy with getting into the position right there. But I think there's going to be I'm hoping for a few catalysts, right? Whether they have a good earnings or they have a good, I see all these pictures on the AMC stock subreddit, and I see Adam Aaron tweeting that the theaters are full. Like, people are going to the theaters. Record amounts of people post-COVID are going to the theater. It's been a while since people have gone, and it seems to be doing fairly well. And if people do have some kind of sentiment, it would be towards AMC, especially if you're an ape. If you usually go to a Regal, and there's an AMC equal distance or whatever, you make an adventure out of it. You go, you buy some popcorn to support the business. The best thing you can do if you want your stock to do well, and this is what one of the sharks said, I think it might have been Mark Cuban or some big whale said if you want your stock to do well, use their product. Like, go to their theater, go do this, go do that, and support them. Buy what they're selling. If you're in GameStop, make sure you're shopping. If you're looking for a new computer part or a new game, whatever you're going to do, make sure you're shopping on their site so that you can, be part of the good numbers that they can produce. Okay. And so it's not just, yes, it's a technical position, but it doesn't hurt to support your company. David says, could I buy options even if I wanted to? Too poor for that. David, it's right now, options are extremely expensive unless you're buying some kind of crazy option, which may be a good way to leverage your money or a bet that's worth it for you. But at the end of the day, buying and holding stock while the gains, while you're not going to get like if the stock goes up 100%, you're not going to get like 500% gains, but that's okay, right? Like at least you'll be just doing your part, right? And your part, here's the deal, your part could be whatever you want it to be. If you want to buy, if you want to hold, if you don't want to do anything, it's whatever you want it to be. But don't, just because you can't afford options, don't let it deter you too bad. But at the end of the day, always manage your own risk. No advice here, no advice. John, so what's up, Captain Cash? Welcome, my friend. I missed you there. Or I almost missed you. Ant says we need more buying power. Volume is getting eaten up in the hedge funds. Are using it to bring the price down. Right, what was the volume today? Volume 86 million, super low volume, especially compared to what we've seen before, right? On the green days, whenever we're having, nice little runs, we're seeing 3 times that amount of volume. Excuse me, easily 3 times that amount of volume whenever we're having good days, right? And I think it's just going to take whatever that catalyst is going to be. It could be, I really don't know what the catalyst is going to be at this point. And like I said, it could be anything, good earnings, some kind of bullish information where everyone's going to, Cinemark is maybe, I wonder if Cinemark goes bankrupt or something, and everyone starts going to AMC. They're going to steal the market share. AMC is going to buy all of Cinemark. AMC is going to buy more theaters. I mean, there's a million different things that it could be where that could be bullish on AMC. Even with, remember, we saw space yesterday, Virgin Galactic, and these guys, their stock, they had a successful space launch. They launched a freaking CEO into space, and I guess there was a little more of a catalyst, but successful launch and everything. They were down 15% on the day, approximately, and sometimes it doesn't go the way you want it to go or you expect it to go. I think they also had like a stock offering or something, so it's a little bit different. But even then, I thought the stock would have ran today, and it's something I was, and as you notice these things, I look for possible opportunities in the future, right? Okay, well, if there's a positive news catalyst in the morning, can I get up super early and trade in the morning and see if I can do a quick swing trade before the market opens? And because when the market opens, maybe it'll dump, right? Or just looking at those kinds of trends and possible opportunities and just bringing them forward. Now, I'm all kinds of messed up because I'm scared that that's going to happen in the future. But who knows? Just I think just being super aware. While personally, I'm like, in on AMC, I'm just holding. There's nothing I can really switch to, or that I'd want to switch to even. Kind of cash is all tied up. But if it came down, whenever it comes down to it, whenever AMC is squoze or whatever's going to happen, then my next plays, these are going to be good to be aware of, right? Good to know, hey, is this a potential play that I can do? Hey, is this something that we can potentially take a look at, right? There you go. Ant says, I have no buying power, I only have patient power. Where'd it go? I have no buying power, I have patient power, holding for the apes. Love it. We're literally that meme. Oh, okay. What's up, Starfish? Oh, gosh. Alex, buy the dip, enjoy the drip. Let's see. Carlos says, check DTCC site showing the DTCC has retired Chase's account. I don't even know how I'm going to check that. I think it's just DTCC.com I could have searched. Do they have their own Twitter? Not sure why this is not looking so good. Going pretty slow, the internet. Well, while this loads, I'm going to go ahead and talk about AMC really quick. So AMC was down 7.65% on the day, right? We were down to 39.35 in the normal trading hours. In the after hours, we're down a little more, almost 5%, right? And that's down to $37.39, which is something I'm really a little shocked. I did not think it was going to go this low, but I think with the low volume, the market as a whole being down, as well as the heavily short, heavy shorting that's going on right now. It's just, it is what it is, right? It's just going down, but even then I have a very, very good average, and I'm gonna continue to hold, right? And if I have any opportunity, I'm gonna continue to add in my position. I've been adding to it. I added to it at $30. I'd love to get it on this discount and continue to add, but you know, just got to play it day by day, by day, by day. Let's see if this went ahead and loaded. Let's take a look and see if I can find that. I think you said, well, let me make sure I have the right name here. I think you said Chase. Yeah, Chase. Okay. Ooh, what is this? JP Morgan Chase account. Right, category membership updates. Additional account retirement. JP Morgan Chase Bank corporate municipal dealer. Ooh, you know, I don't want to jump to any kind of crazy conclusion on this. I don't know what this means. I've never seen anything like this where they additional account retirement. I don't know if it's forced retirement. I don't know if it's not forced retirement. I don't know if it is, you know, like forced voluntary, if it is effective with the close of business July 13th. I mean, that was today. Like, this has been closed today. I really don't know what this means at all. I mean, this is extremely interesting information. However, I don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, well, I guess let's Google it. Well, let's see if there's anything on here to see. No, there doesn't seem to be anything on here. Let's see why the DTCC retire membership. I'm getting sick and tired of these Doge alerts. It's just tempting me. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Insurance and no, this is services. Yeah, we're gonna have to look into this. I mean, if anyone has any information on this, I think it's pretty interesting, but I really don't know what exactly could be going on with this. Yeah, I wish there was more information as to why this is going on. Yeah, we'll just have to see. Platform greetings, Tassel here from Egypt. Ooh, welcome, my friend. Egypt, that's crazy. Natalie, love buying the dip. Same. Deadpool, question for you. Best time to do, or what is the best time to do a transfer out of Robinhood into Webull? The best time, I mean, I would personally say sooner than later. If you're looking at transferring, I would not hesitate, right? Why hesitate and then risk, I don't know, the time frame or anything like that, right? I would just do it first thing in the morning, at night, as soon as you can, you know, right now if you want, and I would initiate that. The only thing I would be, you know, I always say this and just be crystal clear on it. If you have options, if you currently have options, make sure you have options enabled in your new brokerage, right? If you're going over to Webull, make sure you have options enabled in Webull, the exact same kind of options, because if you do not have it, whenever you transfer, your options will be settled before you get transferred. Okay, you don't want that. You want your option to just transfer over normal, keep your option continued in here. So just keep that in mind. But other than that, it's extremely easy to transfer. I'm not sure how to transfer into Webull. I personally transferred into Fidelity, but if you want to transfer into Webull, I'm sure you could just do a quick Google and it'll pop up very easily. You'd be surprised how easy it is to transfer into to transfer. It was extremely easy. I was like, what? It took like less than 5 minutes. Yeah, a lot of people adding to the position. This is what I'm seeing. What's up, Angelina? Perfect. Awesome. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and continue. We'll take a look at, actually, I saw, where was this at? Hey, Diamond, I'm glad to hear that. For anyone who wants an update, Diamond's dad is good off most machines and is being transferred out of the ICU tonight or tomorrow when a room opens. So, Diamond, I'm very happy to hear that, my friend, for sure. Let's continue talking about AMC. Well, I guess we'll take a look at GameStop. And Doge finally dropped under 20 cents. It's been hovering there, hovering, bouncing, right? And it finally dropped under. Very interesting. Very interesting. I did set an alert for about 18 cents over here. I wonder, I would love to do maybe some kind of swing or something if it dips, but it really wouldn't be with much money, maybe not much money at all. So maybe not worth mentioning, but it's definitely something I'm keeping an eye out. Let's take a look at GameStop. GameStop was down 4.86% on the day. It did end the regular trading hours at $180.06. In the after hours, it's currently at $178.50, down 0.87%. Nothing too crazy. But as we can see here, kind of fighting this level of support at around 178.50. Oh, 178.50. Is that where I have my... Oh yeah, 179.45. So basically where I have it. I mean, just a little bit lower. I probably will adjust this to reflect what is currently going on. I'll go ahead and put it right there because I feel like this, keeps bouncing off this level of support. I wonder if it will continue to bounce or if it'll drop. And if it drops, then we're probably looking at another level of support around 169, $170 around there. I don't think, I probably feel pretty good about that. There might be a little bit in between, maybe at 175 around that area, but either way, I think it's I'm just gonna hope that it bounces. But if it does drop, if it does dip, just know it's probably gonna go 175, 170 if it drops below 175. And but we'll continue to watch it. One that we haven't taken a look at is Mayrin. Mayrin is on just some kind of crazy roller coaster. Mayrin was up in the pre-market and then it just consolidated throughout the day to be down 0.28%. So really nothing too special going on over there. Still curious about it. I'm just going to monitor it just for fun, but obviously I don't have a position in it. Let's take a look at the tops for the days and the losers for the day, and then we'll hop into Ortex and see what's going on. So on the 1 day, let's take a look-see. Top gainers. This thing is just not loading for me. Okay, here we go. All right, so the 1 day top gainers, man, this one was up 128%. Anything else that we recognize on here? No, I don't think anything we really recognize. I'm gonna see if this has been going on a run, if this is gonna mean, oh no, this is just a wild ride right here. A wild $4 to $11.50. Already retracing in the after hours, kind of here. I mean, pretty strong retracement, I would say. If I were to drop a Fibonacci, I think it'd probably be pretty strong, but either way, obviously nothing I'm going to play. Just want to take a look at it really quick. Let's take a look at the top losers and see what's been going on, and then we'll go over to Ortex. Newegg on here again. TCAT. Here's the deal. Newegg has been just, and this is what I said, right? After it has this crazy run, it kind of retraces pretty harshly. It's been stepping down each day. I'm not sure if it found a bottom quite yet. Hopefully it does for the people who are in the stock. My goodness, this must not feel good at all, especially if you bought it, if you chased it, right? This is why I don't chase, because people buy it here, right? Let's say you chase it. Let's say you got in at 50 bucks, we'll call it, right? This is pretty good. You were feeling pretty good. You went all the way from 50 all the way to 79, and then it started to dip. You're like, hold the dip, and then it keeps on dropping. So, maybe they'll have another catalyst where it'll run back up. But man, if you got in at $50 around there, you're feeling good at the beginning. But these days, you're probably a little bit scared. So just manage your risk. All right, let's go ahead and look at AMC on Ortex. So Ortex has, there was an update, and I'm not sure if you guys caught it this morning, but Ortex did update the short interest, and we're going to talk about what that means. So currently, let me just be crystal clear here. Currently, the shares on loan is the same, around 99 million. The utilization is the same, around 91 million. Okay, or 91%. So what this tells me, in my personal opinion, what I believe is the short interest was probably 15.39 the entire time, right? 15.39%. This is my theory, but it just, updated. Keep in mind, one day we ran, actually, I wonder if this actually holds water. Let's take a look really quick, 1 second. One day we were here. We were around 13%. And then remember, we went from 13% all the way to 18.72%. Okay. When we did that jump, it was probably an incorrect jump or something. You know what I mean? Although it felt very good. It was bullish. That was a pretty huge jump. And then we kind of been consolidating a little bit. And now we've seen to have corrected. Keep in mind, if we take away, let me click out of it really quick over here. I think that'll work. Nope, that's not working. Oh, I can right click over here. Okay, great. If we take away this uptrend, right? These two tops over here, if we take these away and look at it here, if this just moved right here, this would have just kept going. See this? It's almost like a trend right here. I could draw a line and it would hold water, right? I think that's what we were doing probably the entire time. I don't know what happened with the short interest, why it jumped up or whatever, but either way, it's still moving in the right direction, right? You can draw an invisible line here and see it's still ascending, no problem. And I feel fine about this change because it's still, the short interest is going up. The utilization shares on loan hasn't changed. Nothing's really changed. Just the artificial number or whatever of the short interest it looks like it's gone down, but I really don't think it went down because the utilization in the shares on loan probably would have changed. I think it was just a correction of what they were showing. That's all I think it was. I don't think this is bearish. I don't think anything like that. I think, the stock is still being heavily shorted. Nothing has changed. Okay, the number just looks a little bit different, but I still think we're in the same position. Now, as we've been talking about before, we were getting close to that record high, or we thought we were, right? And so the record high being 19.64%. We're still extremely high. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, right? This is an extremely, extremely high short interest. And the amount of money that they're paying on the short interest is ridiculously high. But, so what I would say with that is, even though we're not at the record high, like, my fear is people say, oh, you know what? I'm going to hop out and then I'll hop back in whenever it's around 19%. Keep in mind, like, the stock originally ran, it was at, over here, it was at 12.45% whenever we had this first little run in January. And during these other runs, this one right here was 16.58%. And then it started running. And then obviously we were around here, 17.47%. And then it ran all the way to 70 bucks. So definitely keep that in mind if you're thinking about play this however you want to play it. Me personally, I'm not going to try to hop in. I'm not going to risk that. That's a very, 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 very risky game. That's not worth it to me. I'll sure, if you do it perfectly, could you make a lot of money? You probably make a little money, but personally, it's just not worth it for me. So I'm not going to play it that way. And if you're thinking about that, I just urge caution. But again, manage your own risk, manage your life. And do what you want to do. But I just wanted to be crystal clear on this, especially the short interest. I know a 3% drop seems pretty drastic, and it is kind of drastic. But again, I don't think it doesn't seem like we were ever really at 18 based on what happened. So just to be crystal clear there. Shorts, AMC is going to skyrocket tomorrow. Shorts, I'm not sure if that's entirely accurate. I would love for it to skyrocket tomorrow. That'd be pretty fantastic. But I just be a little careful. Oh, okay. See you, Lee. Oh gosh. Be nice to the kids. What was this? Nice, good to hear. David says, is it true banks won't accept crypto investments as liquidity? That's why we see the entire crypto dropping. Hedges cashing out on crypto portfolios, adding cash in their ledgers to meet liquidity. David, I really couldn't tell you why banks like aren't accepting crypto. I mean, I don't blame banks for not accepting crypto, right? Crypto is extremely volatile. And if I'm a bank, I don't need that kind of risk. Why does a bank need that kind of risk? They make plenty of money not doing any of that. They make a lot of money, and it's kind of messed up, but they make a lot of money with overdraft fees, and who knows what they do with our money. Maybe they put it in stocks. I mean, I don't know what they do with our money to make a lot of money, but these guys are doing just fine. And if I was a bank, if I had, I don't know, there's just something about crypto. If someone gave me $1,000 in crypto and now I have this cryptocurrency, I don't know. I don't think they're there yet. Their banks move very slow. Crypto is all over the place. I think eventually we'll get there, right? Or maybe it'll be different entities, right? Where I have Wells Fargo for my banking, and then I have, I don't know, some kind of crypto bank that is there. It's probably be virtual, and for all I know, it'll be just your regular wallet on Coinbase or something, right? So I really don't know the future of that, but I mean, it has been speculated that hedgies are in crypto, potentially manipulating it to kind of pump it them themselves, right? Make a lot of money and get out. I can't remember the ticker of the crypto that went from $9 to $5,000 and 9 cents to $5,000. There's something crazy, but weird things happen. It's hard to speculate on exactly what's going on. Jeffrey says, theory is they are tanking AMC to weed out paper hands. Once they see that it isn't working, they will let the price rise to as high as 100 to get people to sell. Right. So Jeffrey, I have seen this theory, and if anybody has not heard it, I'd be happy to kind of walk through it. So the theory is they're going to, let me zoom out here a little bit more. The theory is, okay, they let it run, then they let it, well, I don't know if they're about letting it run, but definitely dropping it, right? So they drop it, and now what they're going to shake it both ways. So the paper hands are going to sell out because, like, oh my gosh, this price is dropping. Instead of looking at what they're looking at their total thing, and they're like, oh my gosh, I've lost $10,000 since, we were at $77. Like, this is a dead cat. I'm out of here. I'm going to lose all my money. And they freak out, right? It's just in my opinion, the wrong way to think about it, but you do whatever you want. And so these people get scared. They paper hand because this price is dropping, right? So then now everybody's in this kind of FUD, like messed up, scary place. And then what they do is they let the stock run, right? They're like, we're going to let it run to $80, right? Then it runs to $80 because they probably just stopped shorting it, and it's going to run by itself. Runs to $80, and then their thought process, the thought process behind this theory is now people are like, oh my gosh, I almost lost all my money at $40, like, and I can't afford to lose this money. If we're at $80, I'm just gonna get out. And that's the theory, right? To just shake paper hands in both directions, make them feel bad, go down, shake those people, and then whenever get people up, shake other people. And that's kind of the theory. It's very interesting. I mean, it makes sense, right? But I have diamond hands. Jeffrey says it again. You haven't lost anything unless you sell. Price doesn't matter until then, right? Unrealized losses, unrealized gains. King James says they borrowed 8 million shares and gave them back to the broker, trying to trick us because they know we are watching short interest percent. That's why the shares on loan is still high. Interesting. Rocky, thoughts on JP Morgan being removed from the DTCC after closing bell? Rocky, honestly, there are so many different ways. I mean, so much speculation we could have for what is going on, right? First, why? I think that's the biggest question is why, Now, if they are, and there's been a lot of rules being set up for what's been going on. They're already out, so it's not like there's an well, I don't know if there's an investigation legally, so maybe they can't talk about it. But if they're out of the DTCC, obviously, I'm sure they must have been given some kind of reason, unless they decided to exit on their own. I'm not sure how often this has happened. If anyone's left before, when was the last time someone was forced retired? Is it a forced retire or an actual? They just want to retire their account. They're done. They're changing their business model. They don't want to be in this anymore. Who knows what it could be? Just so many different questions, and I wish I had, any kind of anything, right? All we have is this right here, this little thing, just effective the close of business. JP Morgan Chase Bank just will retire the following account, right? They're just going to retire this account. Maybe they have two accounts, right? Maybe this is a different account that doesn't really matter. Maybe, who knows? Like, again, we could speculate all day, and I don't know why. I mean, can we even call these people? This is crazy that their numbers are on here. I don't know where this goes to, but, we can speculate all day. What I'm hoping is something comes out or someone says something like from, an official statement or something saying, look, JP Morgan close their account because they had two accounts and they don't need this account anymore. Or they would come out and say, we forced JP Morgan to close their account because they violated our new rules that we set in force of naked shorting, blah, blah, blah. And their shares are going to be auctioned off as per the new DTCC rules that we've been working on this entire time, right? But until we get something like that, we can only speculate as to what it might be. For in my head, to not get myself excited over possibly nothing, I'm just going to say maybe they have two accounts or whatever, and maybe they just want to close it. Now, if someone comes out with something way more bullish than that, hey, fantastic. But again, like kind of just tempering my expectations, because if I don't really get too excited, then I can't be disappointed, right? That might be, and I say that in the most positive way. That sounds a little negative, but I say that in the most positive way. Flava is all in diamond handed. Fabian says this is what happens before it rips to $100. Ali, welcome. Ali. Sorry if I said your name wrong. Does the IRS take credit cards? IRS, man. Those them. There you go. Alex says absolutely. But just pretend your money is already gone, and you'll hold forever. And again, this is why, those kinds of like thought processes of shaking paper hands on the way up and the way down and every which way is why I don't look at my bank account. Because if I look at my bank account and I see, oh my gosh, I'm down this much money from $77, of course it's going to make me feel bad. What a mentality, right? Or I could say, oh my gosh, like from $5 all the way up to $40, like I'm doing good. I'm looking nice, right? It's all about perspective and what you think is going to happen. But your mindset, this is a mental game, right? Think about the people who are not watching, are literally, they bought it, they like sold or they deleted their app or whatever, and they're done. They're not watching it. They don't care. Whenever the price, whether it goes up or down, they know that they're in the positive, right? The stock, in my opinion, there's no way it's going back down to $5 or $10 or whatever. Like, they're good. And as long as it's not under, their floor is $10 probably, or $5, and they say they'll make a few bucks and then they'll be done. If it's somehow a dead cat magically, and all of a sudden their business goes down, and these guys are like, AMC is just, for some reason, they're going to go bankrupt. You know what I mean? Like, if the world is ending for AMC, they'll still get out on top, because I'm sure they have like some kind of sell limit at their floor of $10 or whatever it's going to be. And that's how they want to play it. So those people, I'm sure, are living the best life. You know why? Because they really have just chalked it up. They say, you know what? I'm either gonna get really, really rich. I'm gonna hold till I'm extremely rich, or I'm gonna live the same life I've been living and make a few bucks. And what a power mentality to have. Rocky, I'm not sure what the GameStop, are you hyped for the GameStop announcement at 4:20 a.m. tomorrow, Pacific time? Actually, I'm unaware that this is happening, but I guess I'll wake up to Super Stonk subreddit going crazy. Ron says, what is the truth price a maximum shares? I think you're saying, what is the true price of the highest price like shares can be or something. I do have a video on like how high AMC can go, kind of walking through it. I'd probably recommend watching it. Fitness says, did you buy the dip? Personally, I don't have any more cash to buy the dip. Like, I would have loved to buy the dip. I did not buy the dip. But if I would love to buy the dip. I did buy more shares at 50 something dollars. So I've been averaging up the whole time. If I'm not sure I recognize your name, but I've been in since $2. So I've been averaging up the entire time, and I'm happy to do so. And I'm very happy that I did. So I'm going to continue to do that. Now I'm calling him right now. Oh, welcome back, Lee. Checking, and I didn't see a Moaz, but who knows? Allie. It is Allie. What is your prediction for tomorrow? Tomorrow, again, I really don't do predictions like, oh, AMC is going to end at this price and it's going to go here. I look at technical analysis. Even though this is not really a TA kind of play, it seems to be respecting the TA pretty well, right? You can see in here. And granted, if you say, well, anyways, I was gonna make a joke, but it's not a good joke, so I'm just gonna stay quiet. And we can see here what I'm kind of expecting is I would love for it to bounce, to hold kind of around here, right? I think the next level of support is going to be around 36.17. I'm really hoping that it holds that 36.17. And actually, let me adjust this a little bit. Oh, I can't get the 36.17. That's why I did this. Can I settings 36? We'll do $36. Keep it even. So I think around 36.17, I'm hoping that it'll probably hold around there. If it does, and the reason I came up with that number is because around here we can see the previous levels of support and resistance, or we'll say support for right here. And it looks like it was around there. Now the question is it going to hold? If it does dip, then I'm actually thinking it's going to dip all the way down to, unless it finds some kind of magical level of support in here somewhere, which it might, just fill in the gap over here, which is very common in technical analysis, that it would just fill this little gap over here around what would this be, anywhere between 34 or something bucks. But if it doesn't, I think it's very possible that it dips all the way down to $32, maybe even, I would say there's $32 around there. And we'll see if it bounces. Either way, I'm not going to hop out and in. That's if it goes down, but hopefully I'm looking for a bounce, and I needed to break over this level of support at 42.18. Realistically, I think if we get a bounce, it'll easily recover past 42.18, and then we'll just be looking for a strong hold, right? And don't be fooled, we still have an opportunity here for a double bottom, right? It could bottom out right here and then just have a beautiful line like this, right? We could have something crazy like this, nice little George W right here over the next few days or whatever we're gonna do, or we could have some good movement. Even for tomorrow, we could go like this, and then the next day we can keep moving up. So this could go either way. So I don't want you to shill yourself on what could happen or what could not happen, because it really could go either way. Actually, yeah, we could have a beautiful George W tomorrow. So that's kind of my TA on it, what I think is going to happen. So I really don't do predictions, but I like to do a little bit of TA like that to see, just so what people know what to do, right? Or do what you want to do, but what I think. I don't think we triggered the SSR. I don't think we triggered the short sale rule. Sports. Newman says, how much is Citadel losing daily and where can we see? I'm not sure they calculate it, Newman, but on Ortex, they haven't been doing it lately. Ortex Twitter, but on the Ortex Twitter is where they used to kind of put the how much hedge funds lost today and all that good stuff. However, recently they haven't really been tweeting that. They've kind of been doing some kind of updates on, just basic updates. I haven't really seen how much the hedge funds have lost. I'm sure you can figure out, I'm sure it'd probably be relatively easy to calculate, but I don't know what that calculation would be. Somebody in the chat might know. If someone knows, just let us know, please. Okay, let's go ahead and continue over here in AMC. So this is something very interesting that I just want to have a conversation about. I can't tell you which way it's going to go, but if it's true, if it's accurate, if it's not accurate, but it's very interesting, and I'll go through this right now. So here it says, just keep this with a grain of salt, a big grain of salt, and we'll see what happens. So this says AMC's real current price at $5,125? Question mark. Speculated second order book confirmed. Link in the comments under 13F and import filing. So, and we can see right here this image. If it loads, well, while that loads, I'm going to pull up the comments. And so a lot of comments are actually talking about Lou. And if you don't know, I think it's Lou versus Wall Street. I don't watch him. He is definitely not politically correct in any kind of way. It's not family friendly. I don't know. I personally, just not really something I watch too much or watch at all. Honestly, I watched like one or two of his videos, and it's, you either love it or you don't. And I was personally not too big of a fan. So let me see if we can find, what is this link? What about their April filing? So anyways, this here, we'll see if we can find anything here, but this just doesn't make any sense for me. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. I don't understand. Fabian says it right here. Yeah, I don't believe any of that tinfoil hat stuff. Right. So I don't know anything about this. I just think it's very interesting. It's starting to gain some traction. I don't want anyone to, and the only reason I bring it up is just because someone's going to see it, and I don't want people to get their hopes up or anything crazy going on. I think time will tell if this is actually accurate or not. I don't see how it could be accurate. It doesn't really make any sense. Why would they, if they're spending this much money to trade in dark pools or something, wherever they're trading this, then think about how many regular shares they could just trade in the regular market, unless wherever they're trading this has more, like they can leverage it more. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like, why would you trade 4 shares whenever that's not going to do anything at this much money? And again, you know, although this is on Fintel, I mean, I had a hard time finding on Fintel where it was, but let's see if in here it says it. Okay, so here's the link they said. So I'm gonna close this one. And this is the, what is SO? Okay, let's see. Or let's find that number really quick. It was, well, Sound Income Strategies. Sound Income Strategies, shares, average price. Look at that. They just removed it. So I'm sure maybe it was a typo, maybe some kind of issue, but it seems to be removed here. It's not anywhere on here. Yeah, it's nowhere on here. So I'm sure this is probably just a typo or something, and people let it get away from them. But whenever you see this kind of stuff, like, just please just take a second, right? Take a second to say, does this make sense? It's very interesting, you know, but as we know, Fintel, unfortunately, is not the most accurate. And, you know, I understand, you know, we saw Ortex, right? Ortex it was at 18%. It wasn't actually at 18% or whatever happened. So definitely take these with a huge grain of salt whenever you see this. And there was even a second post, right? Second post right here. Smart Ape explain this, what's going on. And so, see, second book theory. I'm actually not too familiar with this theory. It seems like maybe they mean two separate order books. Like, this is the order book right here. So, you know, there's a second order book that people are buying from. Really, it still does not make any sense to me at all, because where is that second order book? How do you place it inside that second order book? Again, why would anyone at all want to buy these shares at that expensive, right? So yeah. And you know, again, at the end of the day, I agree with this person right here. When you boil it all down, it all means the exact same thing every time. Buy and hold straight to the moon. No advice from me. This is what this person says. Do what you want, but this is true. Or I can't say, I don't know if I can say this is true. This is my strategy personally. But very interesting stuff. So let's also talk about this one. This one was actually floating around. Actually, let me talk about, let's keep on talking about this really quick. See what people said, and then we'll move on. You left out convicted fraudster. Jeez, this guy did all this stuff? No way. See, I don't even know anything about this guy, like, at all. And yikes. Person. You know, David has a great point here. David, thank you so much for bringing this up, because I did not even think of this. What broker would be able to legally sell a share $5,000 over best price and not get hammered for it? That's an excellent point, right? Even if that was the price somewhere, like, even if someone put a sell order of that price, unless they specifically did a joke, right? If someone had, like, for example, I set a sell limit for that. No, I don't know how they would do that. There would have to be a direct transaction between us. I don't know if that's possible, but no, like, it needs to be executed at best price, and that clearly is not best price. Maybe in the future will be, hopefully, but yeah. Oh, Houston says they left out a decimal point. The price was 51.23. That makes a lot of sense. 51.25. And I guess it was back here at something. Big brain. That was probably exactly what it was, right? Probably exactly what it was. Good thinking. All right, let's go ahead and continue here. There's that. Okay, let's talk about this JP Morgan. So this is actually pretty interesting. This has been all over the subreddits all day. And I think this just came out. Yeah, it just came out today. And so JP Morgan warns hedge funds to expect intraday margin calls. You know, this is actually extremely interesting because JP Morgan is the one who is right here, right? JP Morgan is the one who they retired the account. Now, I don't know if these are correlated. I think it's extremely, extremely interesting that these have happened on the same day, right? Like extremely interesting. I have no clue if any of this is related. It almost seems to be related, but again, I'm just not. I don't want to spread any kind of misinformation, but it's very curious that they were both they happened on the same day. But anyway, so U.S. Bank may demand variation margin up to 7 times a day after Archegos default. Oh, interesting. Okay. What a mess. Does it say which stocks it's in? To continue reading, I have to do this? Oh my gosh. I should have typed news. So while that loads, let's take a look at this really quick. JP Morgan is warning hedge fund clients that it will demand they post more cash at any time during the day if their trades lose value. The biggest U.S. bank by assets called clients of its prime brokerage division in the aftermath of the collapse of Archegos Capital Management. According to 3 people familiar with the matter, JP told hedge funds, sorry, I started reading this part. Hedge funds and family offices that they would have to post more collateral on their single name equity swap positions if they lost value intraday. So this is actually extremely interesting, and this goes to so this is kind of talked about before, and basically the story is banks or people are over leveraged these days, right? Before people trade, they trade 1 to 2. 1 to 3, I think. Like, I don't think anyone really goes higher than 1 to 4. Meaning, you have $1 and it equals $4, and you just kind of trade with that kind of money. I suppose that would be considered margin, and so that's what happens, right? Now, whenever you are currently, though, it seems that a lot of, and again, I can't recall if it's banks, hedge funds, who it was, but a lot of people are trading right now at 1 to 9 ratios, right? 1 to 8 ratios, just crazy ratios that they are heavily over leveraged. And especially with everything going on right now, the volatility and what happened with Archegos, I would bet what happened is they finally, Archegos did what happened. And JP Morgan, I guess they were the brokerage who was behind it. They decided, okay, I am going to, they looked into it and they said, you know what, this is not good for business, right? They determined what the problem was, what the cause was, and how they can. Remember, these guys have teams of people saying, okay, well, here's what happened, and here's how we can present it in the future. It's risk management teams that say, here's how we need to fix this. Here's how this can't happen again. This is a big deal. I'm not sure what JP Morgan's impact was on it, if they were impacted by it. I would imagine they were probably impacted pretty heavily if they're going to start doing these kinds of margin calls and stuff like that. Now, granted, keep in mind, a margin call doesn't mean, oh, you're what is it called? Oh, you're liquidated, you're out, we're going to cover. Oh, you're liquidated. No. Margin call means, hey, you need to, stock's not going your way, whatever's happening, you need to deposit some more money or we will liquidate you. We'll take care of it for you. Don't worry about it. But most of the time, I'm sure 9.5 out of 10 time or whatever it is, 95% of the time, 99% of the time, I'm sure most people, especially institutions that are this large, as big as Archegos, most people, institutions, they'll just put up the cash. They'll just say, all right, well, how much more do you need? All right, we'll deposit it over, and it's that easy. So don't get too excited whenever you see these margin calls. People get way too excited with this kind of information. It had the trigger word of margin calls, which I know people are excited about, but not quite yet, right? You know, not to say it can't happen, but I think this is all the, I'm telling you, it's going to take the perfect storm. It's going to be a lightning strike, right, of a margin call that is going to just spiral this. And I'm perfectly happy to wait. I'd be extremely happy, perfectly pleased to wait. All right. Bank of America is next. Oh gosh. 7 times a day is pretty crazy, but I think that just shows you the volatility of some of these stocks, especially the ones that we've been seeing, you know, move crazy. AMC has been moving up and down and up and down, and it could move at any moment now. And these guys need to CYA. If you don't know what CYA is cover your, and then something else in there. But that's what these guys need to do. They are managing their risk and deciding, hey, if this thing goes sideways, if AMC freaking runs or GameStop runs or whatever is going to run, it's one of these heavily shorted stocks. If it starts to run, we're going to need to make sure that these guys can pony up the cash, because if they can't pony up the cash, then we'll take matters into our own hand. We're not going to have another Archegos situation. We don't want people to margin call. And if they do margin call, we want it to happen a little bit sooner, or I really don't know. Again, I can only speculate as to why they're doing this, but yeah. One by one, they will all come out. I agree, Be Real. Search single name equity swap. All right, sounds good. I think I would probably say, well, let's see if I'm accurate. I don't want to say anything incorrectly. Okay, so an equity swap is similar to an interest rate swap, but rather than one leg being the fixed side, is based on the return of an equity index. Whew. Let's try the next one. These swaps are highly customizable and are traded over the counter. Most equity swaps are conducted between auto financiers, investment banks, and lending institutions. The interest rate leg is often referenced to LIBOR, while the equity leg is often referenced to a major stock index such as the S&P 500. Let's see. Let's read this one up here. An equity swap is an exchange of future cash flows between two parties that allows each party to diversify its income for a specified period of time while still holding its original asset. Is an exchange of future cash flows between two parties that allows each party to diversify income for a specified period of time while still holding its original assets. You know, I don't know if this help or hurt, or if my brain is hurting, if I'm hungry, but this is pretty interesting. Diversify. It almost sounds like, and I don't know if this is accurate, but it almost sounds like, what's up, Angel? It almost sounds like if you're holding AMC and you want to move somewhere else, like you can hold into AMC while holding its original assets. I don't know what assets are in this specific situation, if it is actually like stocks or, well, yeah, it says right here, the equity stock such as the S&P 500. So you can stay in the S&P 500 and trade elsewhere and then move back. I mean, what happens if you lose money? I mean, I have so many about this. It's really not something this is not my strong suit. I'm really not too familiar with it. Not just simple margin on equities. Here's a little example here, but I'm not going to go over the example quite yet. Okay, maybe this is easy. Okay, so here's an example of an equity swap. Assume a passively managed fund seeks to track the performance of the S&P 500. The asset managers the asset managers of the fund could enter into an equity swap contract, so it would not have to purchase various securities that track the S&P 500. The firm swaps 25 million at LIBOR plus 2 basis point with an investment bank that agrees to pay any percentage increase in 25 million invested in the S&P 500 index for 1 year. Therefore, in 1 year, the passively managed index fund would owe interest on $25 million based on the LIBOR plus 2 basis points. However, it would be offset by $25 million multiplied by the percentage increase in the S&P 500. If the S&P falls over the next year, then the fund would have to pay the investment bank the interest payment and the percentage the S&P 500 fell multiplied by 25 million. Multiplied by 25 million. The percentage. Oh, okay. My goodness. If the S&P 500 rises more than LIBOR plus 2 basis points, the investment banks. So it's basically another way to leverage your money, or play the stock market in a risky way, and hope that the stock goes your way. Basically, what it is, it seems like kind of like an. I don't want to say like a stock option, but that kind of risk, that kind of risk. I guess you don't lose all your money, but you have to pay money if it doesn't go the way you want it to go. And hopefully you've leveraged your money in the other bet that you went to. So anyways, that's a lot of stuff. Zach, I believe you should be able to send you a Congress letter from Hawaii. Yeah, Zach, I think you should be able to. You can do it. I would actually check CV Payne, CV Payne, Twitter, because on Charles V. Payne, he actually has a. Oh wait, did he reply to it here? No. Down here, he actually has a Apes Not Leaving post. Let me just go down here. Okay, let's see if I can find it. On his Twitter, he actually has an Apes Not Leaving post, and basically it talks about right here. Right here. So yes, you can either do that or you can send a letter, right? You can send a letter, you can send an email to this information right here. And if you go to Charles V. Payne, it looks like he posted on July 8th, and you can find the post right here, basically saying FINRA wants to know about what's going on, but Congress is different. So I think it's definitely worth a shot. Steve says, aren't people shorting the stock loving the price drop over the last 2 weeks? Can you explain? Aren't people shorting the stock loving the price drop? I mean, people shorting the stock loving the price drop over the past 2 weeks. I mean, they're heavily shorting it, but again, they're still not covering their position. It's the strangest thing, because what they're basically doing is they're borrowing more shares. The short interest is going up. Like, granted, it did have a little bit of a change, but in my theory is it was always kind of going up. We were never quite at 18% based on the way this trend was looking, based on the trend of the stock. But what it looks like is going on, while they are heavily shorting the stock, they're not covering any of the stock, which is weird, right? If they were shorting the stock, right, if the stock was going down and the shares on loan was going down, like the utilization was going down, they're returning all these shares, then I was like, okay, maybe they're just going to cover evenly right here, right? It doesn't seem like they're able to do that for whatever reason, right? And there's a million reasons under the sun that I could talk about all day, but it doesn't seem like that's happening. And that makes sense, right? That's a very good thought process that you have, right? Maybe you should work for them, or maybe it's not that simple. I'm sure it's probably just not that simple. But if they were to go under the radar and kind of just cover without changing the price by shorting as well as buying shares at the same time, but what's probably happening is you probably can't do both, because if you buy back the shares, the amount of shares that they have to buy back is going to make the stock rise, And if they continue to short, I mean, it doesn't seem like you can just do an even swap like that. And that's why it looks like they're just continuing to heavily short the stock without covering it all. I'm sure they're happy that the stock is going down, but again, I'm sure they're spending a lot of money to make that happen. Yeah, but I think that's everything I wanted to go over today. I'm gonna go ahead and get some dinner. I am starving. Let's see what Houston's further. Right, that's a good point. Right, they haven't. It's not unrealized gains, unrealized losses. That's what I'll say. Thank you. But all right, I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping it up. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I will be on tomorrow, having a good old time, and I'll see y'all then. All right, you guys have a fantastic night. There. But you have a fantastic night, guys. I'll catch you later. Peace.